Let's be real as fuck about life, real estate, and entrepreneurship. Hi, I'm Julie Chin. You can call me Jules. The Real as Fuck brand is all about providing tools and resources to help new and struggling agents succeed. I share my personal experience not only as a new real estate agent, but also how I overcame the odds starting out as a single mom with a mountain of debt and a ton of self-doubt. Welcome to the Real as Fuck podcast. I'm Julie Chin, your host, and today I have the ladies of Rockstar Luxe who are turning the tables and going to be asking me some questions today. Ladies, can you introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Sarah Nason.
I'm Marissa Parks.
And I'm Claire Cornish.
Well, thanks for being here. Can't wait to hear what you guys have for me.
Lots of good questions, I think. Yes. Does anybody want to start first, or should we just jump right in?
Oh, just throw them at me.
Jump in? Okay, I guess I will start with a good question that's a little personal, but it goes off of what we were just talking about, sometimes getting negative feedback in regards to things. So I would like to know, what is an insult that you've received that you're proud of?
Oh, wow. You're right. You guys should have sent me the questions first.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
A tough one right out of the gate.
I'm always on my phone. I hear that all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think good for me. People want information. They know they're going to get it. Yeah. That comment's coming from personal, not professional. My clients have never said that to me before.
Right. Yeah. I can't imagine anyone saying that.
That definitely makes sense. Kind of going off of that, how do you get comfortable being uncomfortable?
It sucks. There's no way. You just deal with it, because at the end of the day, you need to support your family. Literally everything I'm doing with this book, the podcast, every single part of it's completely out of my comfort zone. Those videos, hate them. I heard someone in my house playing a social media post today, and it was a video that Aspen posted of me. And I'm like, turn it down. I just can't even hear it. Even just writing the book, easy. Being in my space, I'm very much a behind the screen person. So just being with my computer and typing and writing all my thoughts was easy. To take that big leap and publish was almost painful, because I feel really vulnerable. And if I fail, it's out there for everybody to see and critique, right? Yeah. So definitely tough.
Okay. So obviously you've brought on a bunch of different team members. So
I didn't hire y'all.
As soon as I said hired, I'm like, that's not the word.
She approved, I guess, that, right?
So I pursued. I can never forget that word from that podcast. It's so funny.
Okay, when you are pursuing team members, what do you look for in a new agent or someone that is wanting to join a team? Like, what are some important qualities, or maybe something that may turn you off to somebody that you're like, I'm not sure that they would be good in a real estate team environment then?
Interesting. So it's evolving over time. And right now, what's really important to me is that the personality fits. So think of it almost like dating, marrying. Like, it's that important to me that someone comes in and they fit with us. So, like Dee, I knew Dee was going to fit, which we miss her tonight. but she had another obligation. So we're thinking of her. Drive, ambition, those are really important to me. That the person is a good person. Like, I get you can't always know, but you have to kind of follow your gut. And, like, we've all had conversations about faith, right? That's important to me, but that isn't necessarily something I'm critiquing with the team. But I think for me to be able to have conversations like that with you girls, and like, we could just talk about whatever and it would be fine. I just think that's just such a massive bonus. Drive and work ethic are super important to me. So I also need to feel like the person's a team player and not a walking victim, because this is a tough job and you've got to have some resilience and push yourself even when you don't want to. And if you can't get yourself up fast enough, the rest of us will pull you up.
Aw.
The
That's so
benefit of a
sweet.
team.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
This could be scary tonight because I'm such a wordy Italian girl. Like, this just could go on and on.
Okay. My next question is more work related. So, what's one lesson that being a real estate agent has taught you throughout the course, from even just taking the class until now, that you think would be beneficial for everybody to learn?
Well, there's so many, really, because who I was when I started is not who I am now. I have changed probably on almost every level. I used to be very much an overthinker, a planner, almost to the point of being rigid. Well, actually, my kids would say, yes, you were rigid. So I have had to learn to go with the flow. And that is an absolutely foreign concept that for me, it's just never been a part of who I am. I wouldn't have even thought that was a positive characteristic to embody, actually. But wow, this job has changed me, because you really need to be able to go with the flow, and you've got to learn to control your emotions, and you've got to learn to compartmentalize. So I would say that the job itself has changed me as a person, personally, in ways that are really beneficial, and areas that I probably needed to change. On the other hand, I'm so driven and work focused that I forget to make time for what comes naturally to everybody else. I will think of work before I think of something personal. That's not necessarily a good thing, right? So it's going to obviously be another area where I'll have to evolve. And right now, at least, everyone's just loving me through it and not hating me for it.
You say that, and I just admire that trait about you so much, that you're so headstrong and so in it. Like, when you're working, and you are just so productive, I feel like, with your time. And where for you it can be a struggle because it can interfere with your personal life, I wish I could just take 10%, 15% of that from you, because I would gladly
don't take
do
too
it.
much.
No, I don't want to take too much. I like, having the personal time, definitely, but I just admire that so much, and I think
thank
that
you.
it's a really good trait to have.
I appreciate that. It's funny, my little sister Jamie and I used to say, if we could just split and share, because she's super fun, super spontaneous. If you're going to have a party, you want her there. That is just her zone. And me, I'm the one planning that party, and I won't have missed a detail. But I'm not that life of the party person. So I was just always the responsible, detail focused individual. But it works for this job.
Yeah. Sure. It plays to
but so would her personality. You know what I mean? Interesting, because it's relationship based. So everybody would just flock to her because she's super fun.
That is interesting. There's two sides to every coin. That's what that makes me think of.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much on one side. I'm very all or nothing. It's a horrible trait, and I don't want my children to have it. But that's how I am.
How do you give yourself self-care, take that time for your family? Do you need like that external check-in from them? Like, hey, Mom, I haven't seen you in a while. Or is that something that kind of peaks in your own kind of forefront, if that makes sense?
I hear you. And did I say I suck at this?
You don't suck. You're learning. You're growing.
I'm learning and growing. Part of the issue, if someone were to look at my lack of balance, I think balance is a myth anyway. I'm so heavy on the work side, but I love it. So, like, if you could just see my office, Claire, you'll see it next week. There's now an under desk treadmill, and I have this fancy desk thing that's going up and down with my desktop screen.
I love it.
And I can just walk and, attempt to not be sitting 12 to 14 hours a day, which is literally what I do. So, yeah, I just love my workspace. It makes me feel so adulty. I don't know what my problem is. I think because I didn't work as an adult and I started all this at 50. I'm a weirdo. I don't know. I just love it so much. I equally love my time with my children. I always say, if you want me to do something, just ask me. Like, if Sid wants to go to lunch, all you have to do, hey, Mom, let's go to lunch today. Or do you have time tomorrow? I'm there for whatever it is. Basketball. I mean, obviously, if I get a showing request, then, all bets might be off, depending on the situation. I know that's maybe not something to be proud of, but it's definitely how I roll, because I'm not going to lie about it. But like I tell them, don't beat around the bush and come in and be, because this happens. Mom, what are you doing today? Well, clearly the child wants to do something, but doesn't want to put me out, because my children are the most respectful, considerate children on the planet, I think. And my answer is always going to be, what would you like to do? Because the thing for me is just speak what you want, and I will make that happen. But if left to my own devices, I am right here and I'm on the computer.
So it sounds like your self-care is work.
It is. The more productive I can be, like, I like to write everything down. I love crossing it off. If you saw, there's a lot of papers over here. I know that it's super nerdy, right? Like, I love it. And my spreadsheets, and I just, I find it super, super fun. I would rather do that than be sitting there watching TV. Now, I do like buying popcorn, but I don't know, for some reason that all needs to happen like right before bed. That's the only time a TV will go on for me, because I would much rather be doing this.
Like I said, 10%. I just want 10% of that, because I would much rather watch TV. I would much rather probably do anything, actually, than do a checklist and cross things off and spreadsheets.
Really?
But
wow.
Yeah, unless
I am, like,
on the
dead
checklist
serious.
is eat pizza, watch TV, go to sleep. Check. I would do that.
I like that checklist.
I think most people would prefer that to let me sit down and fill out a spreadsheet and just get my work on and walk on the treadmill. But it's awesome, seriously. Not hating, just flabbergasted.
The Secret Life of Julie.
That's your
behind the
next book.
screen. That'll be so boring.
I was going to ask you if you had any hobbies or how you reset or relax, but is the answer work?
You know, before I worked, I was in the gym 2-3 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I had competed in bodybuilding, and that was my kind of my work, my relaxation, my hobby, like everything rolled into one. And then starting work, I'm not sure what it is. I need to pay for my mortgage, and now I have a kiddo who's going to be going off to college in August. So there's all these real financial obligations and responsibilities. And so my brain is just way over in that zone from the moment it all became real and I got the license and, okay, this is what I'm doing. Now, add to that I am one of the most competitive people you will ever meet in your life. I'm competitive with myself. I'm not comparing myself to you. I have goals that I have in my head and I have in writing, and I'm fixated on them and I want to achieve them. So that inner competitiveness drives me.
And that's interesting because there's definitely parallels with, like you mentioned, the bodybuilding. It takes a really special kind of dedicated person to be able to do that.
Crazy. No. Yeah. Any of us who have walked that lifestyle of bodybuilding, we know we're crazy. So.
But it's interesting because I see that carry over into your real estate. You have that drive and dedication for it.
Yeah, there's massive discipline, and I am definitely very disciplined about most things. I have one area now in life I'm super not disciplined in, which is annoying. But I will get that taken care of at some point as well. I just hate that, right? You can tell. It's like, oh, so weak. Come on, beat it.
Everybody's going to be listening to you, and they're going to feel bad because,
No, why?
like, wow, she's just getting it done every single day. She is so productive.
Well, you know, I would tell you, I've never timed it, but I can go, I probably should time it. So the next time I hit my wall, Amy might actually know because I was really like, I feel grumpy. We'll see what she says. And I'm like, you know, I think I've just hit my wall. I think I need a break. And I want to say I probably go at least 3 months working at the pace you guys know I work. And then I hit my wall. And so for me, what it looks like in that moment, I literally just want to do nothing. Yeah. And it'll last, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 hours or something. But I'm also moody in that moment too.
Was that a joke? Was that sarcasm?
I thought you were going to say
No.
days.
I know, maybe.
No.
I thought you were going to say weeks.
No.
2-3 weeks. I was like, yeah,
No.
I feel you.
for real?
I do. I feel you. 2-3 hours. Okay, well, let me just
Don't
go
even
back
have
into
a
my
lazy
hole.
day.
Okay, I'll make you feel better. So here's the secret. When I had COVID, minus feeling like crap, I loved it. It was so awesome.
Refreshing.
It was so awesome.
Oh my
Because
goodness,
you know what I
something
did?
normal.
You know what I did? I laid in bed feeling horrible, and I had a remote in my hand, and I had a stack of books on my side table, or I wrote the book, right? But I didn't have to do anything.
Okay,
So
back
I just,
up. Hold on.
yes.
You're trying to make us feel better, and you're talking about when you had COVID and how you didn't do anything, and then you just nonchalantly slip in the fact that you were working on your book. So mission failed. Because even though you had COVID and were bedbound, essentially, you wrote a book. I'm confused.
The best I did was plant tulips with COVID. I didn't write any books.
See,
That's
I
a
mean,
lot.
even that's pretty good.
I couldn't walk around and stuff. I mean, I was really, really sick. Yeah, the first time I got COVID, I couldn't find a single agent in this town to do a showing for me. I was so frustrated. And I was so sick. I had actually just collapsed on the floor in an asthmatic attack, which I hadn't had an attack like that since I was a kid. And I couldn't find anyone. I got so mad. I got my mask, bunch of sets of gloves, and I drove the half an hour to the property and unlocked the door. I was so mad. And I sat in my car and the people came. I couldn't do anything. I didn't know I was going to get sick that day, right? So it was short notice and I couldn't cancel for them. They were driving hours from another state. And so they came and they looked at the property and they locked up the lockbox for me because I just stayed at my car with my door open and talked to them from there. And then I went to the emergency room.
Oh my goodness.
And I wrote their offer while I was hooked up to the IV.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Again,
So
you're not making us normal people feel any better at all.
So, Julie, I have a question for you. You talked about the wall that you hit, and you think that's like a 3-month. Do you think you would prevent hitting that wall or diminish it? Not that, 2 to 3 hours is, a long
forget
time,
about it. I wouldn't even ask the question, honestly.
Do you feel like if you did, do you feel like there's something you could do to pace yourself so that you didn't hit that wall, I guess is my question. If that makes sense. Or
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I would be too annoyed with myself on the daily. I have this need, very deep-seated need, to not be lazy. It comes from someone in my childhood who I just swear was the laziest frickin' person ever. and it made a really strong impression on me. So I know exactly where my things come from. I need no therapy. I got it. So I just funnel that into productivity. Yeah. Standing by it.
No comment.
We're not bringing her onto the self-care thing, are we?
Oh, self-care. Okay, so I didn't plan it, but on Monday, this upcoming Sunday is Mother's Day, although this won't get posted for a while. My daughter, who's an esthetician, is giving me a facial on Monday. She had me block off the hours to come up to her job, and she's asked me like 2 or 3 times, "You sure, Mom? Did you block that off?" I'm like, "It's my Mother's Day present." Yes, I've blocked it off, and that's an hour drive each way plus the facial time.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't take any appointments during that time.
Well, unless they're up there.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely not.
Marissa will be no, that's my territory. You have no appointments up there.
No appointments. I got you covered.
I can bring you your sign that day.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, she's still doing it. She's still trying to be productive with her time.
Trying to work.
How dare you make the most out of your time? Well, I was going to ask you, at what time of the day do you think you get the most work done? But I'm going to ixnay that question because it probably is all day, right?
Well, I have the most energy and I put in my best effort in the morning. And then I would say from, 1 o'clock on, I'm just pushing myself. And then sometimes I'll get a second wind at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, but not always.
Not always, ladies and gentlemen, in case you were wondering. Not always. Sometimes, occasionally. Okay, well, that was my next question, but I can ask another that I have. Okay. So, what is a common myth about being a real estate agent, in your opinion?
Wow, that we are untruthful, or that we're all well off because we get paid so much money. I mean, people say that all the time, and I know we're not allowed to talk commission per se as agents, but the reality is the money doesn't come directly to us; it gets split up first. But the general consumer isn't actually really aware of that.
And
That's a
then
good one.
taxes.
Right?
Taxes.
Yeah. Uncle Sam, he's in there.
Well, that actually brings me to a question I had for you, Julie. How do you stay on top of your business tracking expenses, taxes, things like that? Do you have that scheduled in your schedule? Like, I'm going to sit down at this time every day and add in all my expenses for the day, or what does that look like for you?
So that is mood based. I'm for sure not perfect in this category. So when I can really be on top of it and put my expenses in the moment they happen. And I start out every year that way, and we're into May, and I can tell you I'm still happily that way. But I feel like around July-ish, then I start taking those expenses and putting them in a little pile. And then that grows. And, a month might go by, and then I'm having to sit there and spend like hours inputting it. There's lots of better ways to do things, and other people do all that. As we know, I started out putting everything just on pieces of paper, right? So this is just not my forte. So I don't use any of the fancy programs. I just stick all of my expenses into an Excel spreadsheet. That's what works for me. I'm sure there's a better way. I tried RE Profit, and that was phenomenal. But it was really over my head. And then I was really, really busy with clients, and I just didn't want to take the time to sit down and learn it. So that's on me. That has nothing to do with the company. I would love their stuff if I would just put myself in that headspace. I had it for 2 or 3 years. So taxes, totally on top of that. I wouldn't ever want to know that any of you, because I care about you all, were any different. When you get paid, so I bank with TD. I love TD. And I can open up all these little accounts in my app. And so I'll name them. And one I have named IRS, this is not my money. That's actually the nickname on the account in my app in my phone.
Sad face.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if I could put an emoji. I'll have to look. It's that important. So the moment the check comes, I take my percentage and I transfer it into that account immediately. And then my accountant, heads up, quarterlies, where you at?
So when do you think it's worth it for somebody in real estate to hire an accountant and a CPA or someone to
From the
do your
moment you
taxes?
become an agent. From the moment you become. There's just so many things that you could be deducting. The interesting thing is interview the accountants and make sure you line up with one that understands real estate. I mean, you're an independent contractor, so they're going to know how to handle that. But you want someone who can also give extra insight. I think a lot of them won't, because like every field, including ours, everyone's worried about liability, right? So they don't want to give you the list. And then maybe, you come back on them. Hey, we weren't supposed to declare this, whatever. So check with other agents. Who are they using? And then take that list and then go interview on your own. And you can do, I would Google things like what else could I be, putting it on my spreadsheet. So what I do is my Excel spreadsheet is broken down by categories. What am I spending in marketing and advertising? What companies? Oh, Vistaprint, I had postcards, or I needed labels. Oh, I had stamps for this. Oh, photography. And I literally just stay very present of mind to where I'm spending money. And then I have every single one of those items on my spreadsheet.
Better than most people.
I doubt it. I'm sure
better than me. Okay.
Well, you're just starting, and so the best thing is to start these habits right now. Even if it's just you get a big envelope, or grab a priority mail one from the post office. I don't really care, and just start throwing your receipts and stuff in there. You just have to start.
Mm-mm. All my receipts are currently in my glove box of my car.
Oh my gosh.
But they're there.
I guess that's a form of a container. Okay. Well, we're going to work on this.
Okay. I wish I didn't say it because Amy's going to say something tomorrow and I regret it already.
New goals.
Oh, wait. She won't hear it for a while, so I have time. By the time she asks, I'll have a folder.
Perfect.
Amy is our team assistant, everyone, and we have weekly team meeting, and then we also have individual sessions, and she helps keep everyone accountable for their goals and what they should be doing or want to be doing.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Next.
Who wants to go next?
I'm thinking
Sarah's awfully quiet.
I just asked you that one.
Oh, you did.
Fine, I'll ask you another one. Have you ever fired a client?
That's a good one.
Yes.
And then can we get the story?
Oh, my stars. Wow. And because of, I feel like I've, a little bit of memory issues, my old age here. I have this individual. I'd show you, but you won't really see it through the camera on the screen. She's in my phone with her first name, and then I put a bunch of emojis like skull and crossbones and a little devil thing and exclamation marks, and wrote "do not answer" all in caps. I kid you not, because I never ever want to have a conversation with this person again.
Oh my goodness.
Because she's so nice, and then I'm in that moment and I forget that it doesn't stay nice. So yeah, we went all over, and I think in hindsight, she wasn't, in her defense, she didn't really know what she wanted, whether it was land or a really tiny home or a very giant home with a giant price tag. So we were all over the place, if you get what I'm saying, and multiple states. And then we go under contract on something, and I'm like, oh, okay, we need escrow to be sent. And she said no. I kid you not. I didn't even know what to do.
I think I would cry.
She just said no, and it was just unbelievable. And then she changed her mind, and then she was calling all the companies like inspector, septic inspector, home inspector, and someone else, and booking the appointments, unbooked all the appointments I booked without telling me, and rebooked, and I wasn't even in town on the day that she was planning them all. And then she called and complained about all these appointments being set up, and I said, well, I didn't do that. And miss, and she said, I said, you called them. And she told me I was a liar and that she'd never called any of these affiliates and set up any of the appointments. And meanwhile, I have the emails from all the companies plus, whatever they told me about the phone calls. So I even had written. It was just the most bizarre situation. I'm not even sure I'm doing it justice. But she would decide something and change her mind, and it involved a lot of people and a lot of schedules. And it was just, that one was too much for me. Because I was feeling very responsible for all of those people's schedules. And then to yell at me and tell me I'm lying, like, dude, you called them and scheduled it. What are you talking about? So that's why I have the name and all those things. Because when I talk to her, oh my star, she's so nice. But no, she just has another side to her that's
how they get
crazy as hell.
How they get you.
Yeah.
So that's a good question, is red flags for clients. Are there, do you see red flags in advance ever, or are those far and few between?
I think I am not so aware. I think people are so nice, and I am just right on board with what they're saying and where they're at and what they want, and I miss them until I'm being smacked upside the head. Yep. And I'm still that way.
But that's awareness. At least.
At least you know that you don't know.
You know that you need a second opinion.
Yeah, my kids are like, how could you be so naive? I'm like, I know. I've had a sheltered adult life.
Excuse me for having faith.
Yeah, you see the best in people.
Yeah, I had a client who he would yell at me and he wouldn't say nice things. So, and I just stayed with that one. And I thought that was one of my first deals. And I thought, well, it can only get better.
One would hope.
And I've never had another one like that. So I'm super grateful.
There you go. That's pretty good.
Most of my clients are really nice.
Just had to rip that Band-Aid off. Get the stinky ones out of the way.
Yeah, just so you know, this could be your worst case scenario. Oh, nope, here's crazy lady. Oh, there's another one. And then you get, 50 really awesome, wonderful people. So it all works out.
How many people, do you know how many people you've helped close with to date?
It's on my spreadsheet. I could look and give you a number, but off the top of my head, I would have to say... Probably, I might be nearing 100 families now.
Wow.
You need to have one of those celebrations where the balloons
I'll
fall
count
from the
it
ceiling.
up. Oh, won't that be fun?
You should.
Ooh, and what I should...
And have us all over for 100,
a party. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay.
Yeah, if number 100 hasn't happened yet, then I want to do something special for whoever that person is. That would be really cool.
That's
right?
a great idea. And make a TikTok and all the posts.
All the things.
All the videos. Yes, all the things.
And my marketing brain is going, like, you could do all these different posts of, will you be the 100th client kind of.
That's a great idea, too. Look at just geniuses in this, I tell you.
Right? I'm writing this down again.
Taking notes.
You could do like a raffle or a giveaway. You could do a giveaway. And then maybe somebody will buy a house with you quicker.
Take out a full page ad in the Daily Sun.
That's a great idea. Yeah, nothing like the local newspaper to get you some clients.
Yeah, I'll count that up because I'm not sure. I might have already hit it because I'm like, I think I did I helped 34 or 37 families last year. So that would bump it up higher than I'm thinking.
Okay, well, 150, whatever the next big thing would be.
Right,
just
whatever the next
work
benchmark
towards
is.
it.
All right, well, I'll find out tonight.
So with such a big number, one might think that you would have a really set routine, right? So I want to know what your morning routine looks like. since that's your most productive time?
Yeah.
Or do you just roll out of bed and get right on the computer?
No, I handle work before I allow my feet to touch the floor.
That's right. You check your emails, don't you, in bed?
I check social media for our team business, real estate, and then also for the Real AF program. So I check all the social media on all of them and my email for both companies and get back to people and throw out all the emails I can because I get so much that I don't need to be looking at. So all that happens before I get out of bed so that I know what to expect. Yep. And then some mornings I'm making it downstairs to the gym. And then other mornings I'm like, ooh, I get to be home for a while. So I'll actually put the coffee on and not have hot tea. So it just depends. And that's like my big, I get really excited about that.
If you can have coffee in the morning.
And I don't even like coffee. I just like all the stuff in it. And my friend Christy in Florida in November, I went back home and she was so fancy. She ground coffee beans and then had this frother thing and this oat milk vanilla creamer. And she'd hand me this cup of heaven. Did I say I don't like coffee? And I would sit there and it was amazing. It was so good. So she's so cute. She sent me a frother. It got home back to New Hampshire before I did. And then I ordered a coffee pot and I just did a little Amazon
little haul.
Retail therapy. Yep. I do love my Amazon. And then, yeah. So if I don't have to be somewhere, say before 10 in the morning, a couple times a week, I'll have that coffee pot on a timer. So it goes off at like 6:30 in the morning and I can smell it upstairs. It's awesome. I know. So weird.
It's a nice way to wake
I think
up.
everybody likes the smell of coffee in the morning.
It does smell good. Even if you weren't drinking it, you could just do that to have the smell in your house.
Yeah. Or
bacon. Because tea doesn't do that.
Good open house trick. Put on a pot of coffee.
That's true. If you're allowed.
If you're allowed.
Allowed.
Get permission first.
Yeah, what's next, girls? We can't be silent
We're just gonna
on air.
sit here in silence. Yeah. I was gonna
stare at
say
each other.
I was thinking about when you had COVID and you couldn't find anybody to do showings. Was that before you had a team? And if so, was that a driving factor behind why you started a team?
I already had a team. Yep. So it didn't have anything to do with that. And I don't remember who was on the team. That was just May of last year. But Sarah's so far away, so I would never ask Sarah anyway.
Good point.
I think that I was at a wedding. I wasn't even in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
I remember.
I think you're right. Yeah. I was so upset that day. But you know what? I got out, got it done. And did I mention we went under contract and we closed and they're really happy?
You did not.
And we have a story. They have a story. Our agent was so sick. She was hardly holding herself up. That's what they say. They were like, you were so weak. And yet she showed the house and went and wrote her offer in the emergency room and So.
If that doesn't get you a 5-star review, I don't know what will.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Well, you do what you got to do. I mean, the thing is, real estate it's an urgent thing in our market. Like if you don't act, that client's going to lose the property that for them, that's their dream property. I'm sorry. I don't want to be any part of the negative side of that. That would absolutely kill me. I mean, it's a good thing I didn't actually end up going into therapy because my children were right. They called it. Here I was studying away and thinking I would go into therapy. And I think either Olivia or Sydney, they were like, you can't do that. You will bring everything home. You will feel so bad all the time. You won't be able to, every bad story someone tells you, you're going to just hang on to. and they're so right. I've definitely learned that about myself with real estate. I have literally cried before picking up the phone to have to tell someone they didn't get their offer chosen. I've cried so many times. And the first time that happened to me was actually with Charlie, who's on our team. At the time, he was my client. That's how we met. And I had to call him and his wife and tell them our offer wasn't chosen. And at that moment, that parcel of land was the perfect parcel. So I just, yeah, I just carry all that.
Just gotta make like Elsa. Let it go, if anybody doesn't get that reference. Frozen was a while ago, but I still love it. So
it's so funny because like I knew it, but like the words weren't popping in my head. I'm like, dang, what's the phrase?
Yeah.
No, you need to break out in song.
Yes, I know. I wasn't theatrical enough.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, starting a team, I didn't necessarily see myself on a team, although I interviewed several in the beginning. I just didn't get it. But my focus in building a team has sort of evolved, and I don't think I had clarified it in the beginning as much as it's so obvious to me now that it's all about wanting to mentor and help pull someone through that beginning process, because I just do not feel like you should feel so lost and helpless and frustrated. And granted, not everyone feels that way. And it's not bad to feel that way because there can be a lot of growth in it, right? So you're going to build up your thick skin so you can kind of handle the job. Maybe it's kind of a necessary step, if you will. But that's also, if you think about it, that's the point of the book too. So now I'm, without realizing it, it started with the team and then led to me following through on the book. I mean, obviously I had the book idea first. I just procrastinated and didn't start writing it right away, which is for the best, because I needed to learn the job and understand my thoughts and feelings in all those different areas so that I would be able to put it down on paper.
Crickets. It's 6:30 and we're like sleeping. What was I gonna ask you? Okay, I remember now. What is the biggest struggle or challenge that you have faced or that you are currently facing in professional or personal life?
Like ever?
Yeah, ever or currently. I mean,
Yeah.
run
Well,
with
there's
it
so
however
many
you want.
people. Personally, I would say my divorce. And that would surprise some people because I'm actually the one who wanted the divorce. And I would just say that, when you meet or hear of a couple who's divorcing, don't take sides. There's always 3 sides, and it does not matter which side a person is on. If they wanted the divorce or they didn't want the divorce, everyone is suffering. So, yeah, I wanted it. Maybe, oh, you're the bad guy because you wanted it. That doesn't mean I didn't suffer. I, cried every day. I hate that I hurt anybody. So just a little public service message, respect to everybody on both sides. You don't have to believe anything you hear because it's not for you to judge, right? Let them go through their thing. So I would say personally that was definitely a big one. Professionally, I think getting through the beginning of real estate for me because it was such a struggle. And I dealt with that behind closed doors. It's not like I went around and shared it or showed it. So much self-doubt, and I was scared. How am I going to do this? And I have to figure out how to make money and support the kids and myself after never having to do that because my ex-husband took care of us all really well. He's such a good person, and I'm fortunate in that the reality is, after all this time, he is also one of my cheerleaders. So that's definitely nice.
Shout out to Warren for the support.
Yeah, I mean, and you need that support from whoever in your life. And the reality is, if you don't have any support, you need to be your support. And I think with anything in life, you've got to be your cheerleader first because you've got all the dialogues going on in your mind, right? So you've got to control that narrative so you can get up and be productive and push through difficulties. I think right now with this new company venture, I definitely am hitting that next challenge because there's so many facets to it, all of which I know nothing about. And I get discouraged and frustrated at times and think, what am I doing? Like, why do I think I can do this? I don't even know how to really get in front of my audience. And so I do have hours here or there. I'll never let myself sulk very long. It's kind of a personal rule for me. If something's upsetting me, I put a timer on it. And I can feel sorry for myself. I can cry. I can be mad, whatever. And then I need to put it away because there's not a single good thing that comes out of that that's productive, in my opinion. So what I do, because I just had that first thing this morning when I woke up, actually, I had the whole thought all over again. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Like, why do I think I can do that? And I come back to my book, and I think I did a pretty good job in it. Could it be better? Yeah, I bet it could be. But more important than that is I 1,000% believe that there is a need for what I wrote and that it could really make a massive difference for so many people. And people maybe wouldn't give up on real estate so soon. I had the honor of speaking with someone who's in real estate classes right now and has read the book 2 times fully and on her 3rd time through it. And she has made it very clear that she's feeling more comfortable about going into the field because of the book.
That's really cool.
And that she's really grateful to have it. So, wow, what a gift to hear those words from her.
Yeah, even if it just reaches one person that really hears it and, lets it really sink in, I feel like it's worth that. I mean, I don't know, with all the hours you put into it, but I mean, just to hear that is probably really, really cool.
But the reality is, in our hardest times, good things are going to come out of that.
Yeah.
It might not be exactly what you were hoping for or what you thought it would be, but there's always going to be something, and there's going to be growth, and then you're getting ready for the next whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like more often than not, it's not how you expect it or want it to go, but it's better, I guess, in a lot of ways. Obviously, every situation is different, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Is there a question that you were hoping, I hope they ask me this question that we didn't think of?
No, I honestly went into it with zero expectation, and I just thought, Wonder what you guys are going to ask. And then I thought, am I an idiot? Should I have told them to send me an email?
Probably, but I feel like you handle yourself
okay.
so well. I mean,
I don't know. We had some crickets.
I don't know why. I don't know. Are we tired today? Is that the
It's
issue?
not even Monday, you guys.
You thought it was Wednesday today.
Oh my God.
And I had a heart attack. I was like, I don't know how to text her back. I texted Julie today. I was like, hey, I'm going to be working tomorrow, the job that I work part-time. And I said, I just want to let you know, like, just letting her know. She was like, can you say no? Can you, like, tell them that you paid?
We have an obligation.
Yeah, we have somewhere to be. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what did I forget? Like, I did not know I had something that I paid for on the agenda or that was such a big deal. It's because she was confused. She thought it was Wednesday. So
I thought she was not
skipping out on our volunteer. First of all, sorry, I'm not volunteering. I'm not helping. I know we've talked about it for like a month, all volunteering together, but I'm not. I'm not going to do it.
It's hysterical because I just cannot even stop laughing. To me, that would be a moment of how I responded to her. That would be an example of me hitting a wall where I need to just take a time out because I'm a jerk. And I get it. I'll call it what it is. What is wrong with you?
No, I was so scared. I was like, this is it. This is my last day here. She's going to come and find me.
You're off the team.
And all I was thinking was, no, we all have to be together at Red Day with our shirts.
I will be there for everybody listening.
And whatever.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
We're supposed to bring rakes and all this stuff. I'm like, I
don't
even own any of these items. Come on. Yeah, check your email.
Oh, no, I remember
Evidently,
now that
they've been
that.
saying it.
I have extras.
Oh, good. Just load up your car. Thank you for saving us.
Just bring all the tools. Throw extra gloves in there,
BYOR. Bring your own rake.
Your own rake.
That's a little bizarre.
And gloves.
And gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. I got dish gloves.
I mean, like garden gloves.
Claire's gonna come with these like yellow rubber gloves up to her elbows.
We won't be able to lose her. We'll definitely be able to find you.
They're actually pink with
cute.
a bunch of red dye on them. Okay, sorry, we're getting off
That's wonderful, but the point of gloves on our Red Day this week is so that you don't get blisters, evidently, from raking and doing whatever manual labor we're going to be doing.
I really thought we were scooping poop and walking dogs.
That will be part of it, probably. The scoop and poop. I don't know if we get to walk dogs.
Scoop and poop? Oh my God, is that a thing? I think you guys could like bumper sticker that or turn it into a product.
I think that is actually a job, like a business.
Poop
People
scooper?
go around and poop, scoop,
Nope.
scoop, poop.
Absolutely
Can't
never.
say it
That
right.
is hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, someone's going to go trademark that right now. Whoever hears it. So listeners, we have our brokerage once a year they do things more than once a year, but they have a main day nationwide where everyone gets out into the community and gives back. And so that's coming up for us this Thursday. And we are helping at our local Humane Society. We are very excited about it. And I got all bent. What's that term?
All bent out of shape.
Yeah, been out of shape.
Passive aggressive, bitter.
At Claire for maybe not attending. And I'm the one who got the day wrong. You know what? I am fine admitting when I'm passive aggressive or being a jerk. Like, I know. And, here's the thing. People never admit to that. And I would say 9 times out of 10 in the moment, I know I'm being awful. And I tell myself, stop, don't send it. Don't, shut up.
As your fingers.
And I do it anyway. And it's so annoying where you're just hovering over yourself.
It's like the angel and the demon on each shoulder. And, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It was not
be
mean.
worse. Just know it could always be worse. I don't want to scare you.
I will think of that. Not fearful of you. Well, yeah, maybe a little. I don't know.
I don't know. I think a little fear is healthy. That's what I tell my children.
Submit.
I grew up in a different time.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was very afraid of my parents, but I respected them and I followed their rules for, till teen years anyway.
That's
Well, I think since we are just in chatty mode, if you guys don't have any more questions for me, that we'll say bye to our listeners.
Yeah, I think I've asked all the questions I had.
All right. Well, we've exhausted everyone. Thank you so much for putting thought into this. And listeners, thanks for hanging out with us. A little bit different tonight. Please check us out on social media at Real AF Program and check out our website at realafprogram.com. Thanks so much for following along, and tune in next time when we do updates on everybody to see where they're at with their business and keeping up with their goals. Make sure you subscribe to our Spotify channel so you get updated every time we drop a new podcast. And check out our website at realafprogram.com.